Welcome to the Property Code. I am Nick, and today we are unpacking affordable housing investment for 2025. Search demand tells us exactly what people want to know. They are asking about affordable housing finance, the difference between apartment and house investment, investment property mortgages, student housing rentals, and low-cost ways to build or rehab. They are also searching specific markets like Florida, Dallas, and Orlando, plus questions about budgeting for an apartment and whether a home equity loan can help buy an investment property. If that sounds like your browser history, you are in the right place. Let me introduce Tasha. She is a 34-year-old teacher in Norfolk who loves her job but needed a plan to build wealth without waiting decades. Her rent rose for 3 straight years. She kept hearing the phrase affordable housing and assumed it was only a government program for big developers. A colleague explained that in practice, affordable housing investment simply means buying or creating rentals that a median local household can pay for without being house poor. The tenants are nurses, bus drivers, security guards, students, and retirees. When you serve this group well, you often get steady demand and fewer vacancies because people value a safe, clean, reasonably priced home. Tasha started with a target. She wanted to cover 2 weeks of take-home pay each month through rental income within 3 years. That goal guided every decision. She studied her city's data portal and saw growing enrollment at a nearby community college and a shipyard hiring wave. Those two engines point to strong demand for small apartments and roommate-friendly layouts. Finding the right property was step one. She looked for a 2 to 4 unit building near bus lines and grocery stores, not just trendy cafes. She walked blocks at dawn and after dark to gauge noise and lighting. She compared several options and selected a tired duplex a few blocks from a bus rapid transit stop. The price tag looked intimidating, but her lender showed a path many listeners are Googling under investment property mortgage. Because she agreed to live in 1 unit for at least a year, she qualified for a small down payment loan on a 2-unit property and locked a rate in the mid-60s. Owner occupancy shaved insurance costs as well. She also applied with a community development financial institution, a mission lender that offers flexible terms for workforce housing. The CDFI did not win this deal, but their term sheet taught her how to negotiate. Renovation choices were simple and durable. She installed luxury vinyl plank, low-flow fixtures, and an efficient heat pump water heater. Those upgrades qualified for utility rebates and trimmed the residents' bills, which helps retention. She resisted designer tile and chose a neutral paint she could touch up between tenants. She added a smart water main shutoff and leak sensors beneath sinks. In 2025, reducing surprises is the fastest way to protect cash flow. Before leasing, she studied rent at nearby buildings, not asking prices. Her target audience earned roughly $40,000 to $60,000 a year, so she kept rent at a level that would keep housing costs below 1/3 of income. She offered residents a small discount for automatic payments and enrolled them in a rent reporting service that builds credit for on-time payments. That one step raised on-time rates to almost perfect numbers and attracted applicants who wanted to build their score. Now, let us talk about program options because affordable housing investment is not one thing. Some owners accept housing vouchers. Voucher rents are paid partly or wholly by a public agency, which can stabilize collections but requires inspections and paperwork. If you choose this path, build a timeline buffer for inspection scheduling and budget for compliant handrails, smoke detectors, anti-tip oven brackets, and the like. Other owners work with employer housing programs. Hospitals and school districts sometimes partner with landlords to guarantee a portion of rent for new hires. In 2025, these agreements are expanding in mid-sized metros that need teachers and nurses. For those thinking bigger than a duplex, low-income housing tax credits can finance larger projects, but they require experience and strong partners. If you are early in your journey, focus on 2 to 4 unit properties, accessory dwelling units, or small scattered site acquisitions. The math is simpler and you can scale with confidence. Where should you look? Demand patterns in 2025 are clear. Sunbelt metros continue to add jobs, but insurance costs in coastal counties require careful underwriting. Interior markets near universities, medical centers, and logistics hubs tend to offer strong tenant bases. Student housing near mid-sized campuses can work if you rent by the bedroom with separate locks and include reliable internet. Workforce housing near shipyards, hospitals, and warehouses can shine if you provide secure package storage and well-lit parking. Florida, Virginia, and Texas keep appearing in search data for a reason, but the right block in your own town may beat a distant hotspot if you can manage it well. Let us open the books on operating math. Start with realistic rent based on signed leases for similar homes within a half mile. Deduct a vacancy allowance equal to at least 1 month per year unless you can prove faster turns. Deduct operating costs including insurance, property taxes, trash, landscaping, and a maintenance reserve. Many first-timers forget reserves. Set aside a portion of rent each month for water heaters, roof repairs, and appliance replacements. Only then consider debt service. If the deal breaks even or better, add a conservative rent and a vacancy buffer. You're close. If it only works with optimistic assumptions, keep walking. Tasha tightened expenses by negotiating a multi-property discount with a local plumber and electrician, a tactic she learned from a property manager. She also bought a modest toolkit and watched videos until she could handle simple repairs like replacing a vanity faucet. On the income side, she offered a small pet rent instead of banning pets. She installed keypad locks so she could rekey without a locksmith. None of these moves were flashy, but together they added a few $100s per month to her bottom line. Financing is where many people get stuck. Beyond the owner-occupied 2 to 4 unit loan, there are other routes. Some investors use a home equity loan from their primary residence to fund a down payment. Others pair a small bank loan with a down payment assistance grant tied to neighborhood revitalization. In 2025, green loan products are growing. If you can document energy savings from heat pumps, induction stoves, or better insulation, lenders may offer fractionally better rates because utility savings, lower resident churn, and payment risk. Always compare total fees and the cost of rate buy-downs against simply accepting a slightly higher rate and keeping cash for reserves. You might ask whether building new can be affordable. In certain places, yes, if you control a small lot and use off-site modular components that shorten construction time. Cities are legalizing accessory dwelling units on more lots. An accessory unit behind an existing home can be a gentle way to add supply and produce stable income without buying land again. Remember soft costs. Permits, impact fees, and utility connections can equal a large share of the budget. Work with a builder who has delivered small units in your city, not just pretty pictures. Risk never disappears. In 2025, property insurance requires respect, especially near coasts and wildfire zones. Choose resilient features, trim trees, and verify wind and flood coverage levels before closing. Protect your time by hiring a reputable property manager once you have more than a few doors. If you choose to self-manage in the beginning, use software that automates screening, lease signing, and maintenance tickets. And whatever you do, maintain at least 3 months of expenses in cash. 6 is better. Back to Tasha. By the end of year 1, she lived in the downstairs unit and rented the upstairs to a nurse and her partner. Cash flow was not spectacular, but her mortgage balance dropped each month and rent rose modestly at renewal. In year 2, she added an accessory dwelling unit in the backyard by tapping a city program that waived certain fees for small, affordable units. Her monthly income now covered more than 1 week of take-home pay, and her time investment shrank because the new systems broke less than the old. The plan was working not through luck, but through hundreds of small decisions aligned with one goal. Affordable housing investment is not a charity project and not a loophole. It is a business that works best when residents can actually afford to stay. If you deliver clean, efficient, well-managed homes at prices aligned with local wages, you will see lower vacancy, fewer surprises, and solid long-term returns. Start with one property, protect your reserves, add smart efficiency upgrades, and let time compound both your equity and your reputation.